dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young or let us live forever. We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad men. Can you imagine when the race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever, forever and ever?
Gentlemen, gender diverse. There's an old saying, I can't read the lights. I'm going to have to remember this. There's an old saying that I used to hear a lot. If I were to ask you what the oldest profession in the world is, some of you will come up with sex work. Yes, sex work, that's better. Sex work is considered the oldest occupation in the world. But it's an occupation in South Australia that is criminalised. New South Wales has decriminalised sex work. New Zealand has decriminalised sex work. Northern Territory has decriminalised sex work. Victoria has decriminalised sex work. So why does South Australia still have the oldest and most archaic sex worker laws in the country? You don't often hear the word occupation used in the same sentence as sex work, or at least I don't. That is because there are people who believe that sex work is not an occupation. I am here to correct this now. Sex workers have a mantra, one of many actually. Sex work is work. Can I ask you to say that with me? Sex work is work. One more time. Sex work is work. Again with emphasis. Sex work is work. Most anti-sex work individuals and groups use the same old argument. Sex work demoralises and takes advantage of women. That is multi-level wrong. This argument diminishes bodily autonomy. I am the only person who has the right to make decisions about my body. There are people out there who may not actually agree with sex work as such, but everyone agrees that we can all make decisions about our own body without interference from anyone else. I also want to add I can't even say this word, heteronormativity of this statement. It flies in the face of male-identifying and non-binary sex workers. Now, look, if I start on heteronormativity, I could be here for another hour, but I won't start on that. Some say that decriminalising sex work will invite criminalised behaviour. I'm here to say that only a criminalised environment can invite criminalised behaviour. And I'm going to leave that there for a moment. Just pause on that and think about it. Only a criminalised environment can invite criminalised behaviour. While being in the oldest profession in the world may be considered as a joke by some, by others it is a reality. It highlights the fact that decriminalisation does not make sex work disappear. Sex work has been around for centuries, and sex work will be around for centuries more. All decriminalisation does is make me a criminal. All criminalisation does is lead to poor working conditions, poor health outcomes, a lack of occupational health and safety standards, and diminished workplace rights. Criminalisation means sex workers are at risk of violence and other crimes perpetrated against them, and are less likely to report those crimes because the same people who we report the crimes to can actually charge us and arrest us. Our workplaces are also at risk of police raids day and night at men. That sentiment went out ages ago. This is what our political naysayers are advocating for. Lack of rights, gatekeeping over our bodies, lack of workplace safety standards, lack of industrial rights, lack of police protection. And if a brothel owner came up to me and said, I am not employing a 50-year-old tranny, they have that right, because I have no industrial recourse to make employers accountable for discriminatory behaviours. Sex workers do not need saving. Sex workers do not need people telling us what we can or cannot do. Sex workers need rights. Sex workers need to work in a decriminalised environment so that we can access all the work safety and health rights that are afforded to every other South Australian worker. Any legislation that does not include full decriminalisation is the sole cause of sex worker vulnerability. It starts at the top, but we all know the change happens from the bottom. Change happens by us. We need everyone to help make our politicians accountable. So as the Decrim Bill goes before Parliament yet another time, and I think it's like the 15th time, I could be wrong, it could be more. It's definitely not less. This year, contact your local member and make some noise. Your support can start today in this space, helping us launch our Sex Work is Work campaign. Go to the SIDAC tent, grab one of our signs, take a picture and post on social media. Sex work is work, so let's decriminalise the sex industry, for my sake.
Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip, the music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when the race is run? Turn our golden faces into the sun, praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the